Hello everybody. I have a project here today that I have been delaying for so long. Procrastination. We're gonna make curtains today. Very simple, but I wanted to just buy curtains because I didn't want to do all the things, but they're very expensive. So I got a lot of fabrics from our local pazar in Turkey, which is just like they have a lot of scraps and already cut fabrics for really cheap. So I have a white cotton linen here, and there's about 6 meters here, and I got it for $5. Thickening another fabric here, and I have 8 meters here, and I got it for about $10. I found this really fun fabric that I really want to use in my kitchen. It's so pretty, and I really kind of wanted to just make an outfit out of it, but we're gonna use it in the kitchen. And there's about 6 meters of this, and I got this for about $8. It could be a little less, but I also know that there's gonna be leftovers. So do I just match with my kitchen? Probably. It should be simple. Everything's fine.
Let's go.
What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna measure to see how much curtain I need. So since my railings are all the way at the top, I need to make sure I'm measuring from where it begins. I could technically finish it where the windows are to save material as well, but because I really like that fabric that I'm going to use, and I potentially want to use it for a background for like photo shoots or videos, I'm just going to make it to the bottom. Why not? Oh God, my neighbors are watching me. This is why I need curtains. I don't like it. Then I'm gonna measure the width. So generally you wanna multiply your width by like 2 or 3, depending on how like
voluptuous
you want it. We'll see what happens. Right now we're just sewing 2 panels down the middle. I don't want 2 separate curtains on this wall. I just want one big old curtain that I have to manage. It's 1 straight seam down, and then I'm gonna take it to the serger. Well, now that that's done, the next step is to start hemming. For the bottom 3 sides, we're just gonna roll over the serged hem, usually about 1/2 inch in total. So you're gonna fold 1/4 and 1/4 to come up with the clean finish. And for the top, you're gonna fold it to about 2 inches. It also depends on this. I didn't know that there was this type of a thing for curtains because I thought that you had to sew the plastic hooks on 1 by 1. And they made this so you just like sew this band on to the top, and it has like these loops already. So you sew this on, and then you just hook on this plastic lock thing, and then you just put it on to your ceiling. Wow, I'm glad I found this before I did it the hard way. That would just take forever, especially for 3 rooms. I don't think so. To iron, which is my most hated part. There's really no avoiding it if you want a crisp project. Okay, so the sewing is almost done. I sewed all 4 sides and I ironed and pressed it. So now we have to do the folds. Like I said before, it really depends on how voluptuous you want it. So I'm just gonna do a little pinches and stuff here and there. This is where my other pleat ends. And I measured that I want my next pleat to be 9 inches away from the first pleat. And then I'm gonna measure out 2 inches on both sides from the center of that pleat. So I marked 2 inches there and 2 inches there, and this is my center. Then, just as an extra thing, I also want to mark out the middle of those 2 inches, just to get an idea. And I could also mark the top. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to pinch where that middle was from your 2 inches. So if this is the center, this is your 2 inches, you're going to pinch from that middle part. That's why we also wanted to mark that. So we're going to pinch, and it's easy because I also marked the top of the fabric. And then I'm going to close that first 2 inch into a pleat. And if I want, I can pin that close. Next, I'm going to pinch that next 2. So I grab both of my 2 inch pleats. The first one's here, the second one's here, and then I want to put them together. And then I'm going to pin these together like that. You could put as many pins as you want. I usually just put 1, and you could put 1 at the bottom here because we are going to sew down that line a little bit. So here is 1 pleat. So basically it's going to look kind of like that. After it's fully sewn, it'll be closed. So now that I sewed my pleats and sewed all of my flaps down, it's going to make it easier to sew on the curtain band. I'm going to go ahead and start sewing on the curtain band onto the top. Lay it flat on top and then sew it on both sides all the way down. Also, something to be careful of, I want this first loop to be really close to the edge, so when I do put that plastic hook on, this side isn't like flapping down. And then we should be basically done with our curtain. So now that we installed the band on top of the curtain, we're going to hook the plastic little thingies in. So basically we just open this and we loop it through that part, and then we lock it closed. So we lock it, and that's it. And I don't want to put one in every single slot. That's a little excessive. But I feel like if I skip over every 5, it's going to be enough. Well, there you have it. Oh. The curtains are done for the kitchen, so now I have to do the studio and the side room, so that's going to take a while. That was about it. It was pretty simple to make this curtain. See you soon.